hazy conditions and dry conditions. There's a fire hazard that continues for tonight. We'll talk about that and the chances of rain in the forecast coming up.
Right now on News Channel 6 at 4, a retirement community in McCormick County hopeful for a solution with an ongoing mail delivery issue. Now they're working toward a compromise.
Plus, Georgia lawmakers discussing housing issues, how they plan to create affordable, reliable housing for people in the Peach State.
And students switching to different schools in Aiken County, where your child could be going next year, as your News at 4 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 4.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Brad Means.
And I'm Jenny Montgomery. Thanks so much for joining us.
Coverage you can count on begins with a retirement community calling for a solution to their ongoing mail delivery problem.
Yes, and we want to know how the people there are remaining hopeful about a resolution to the mail situation. Tiffany Hobbs spoke with some folks today.
More than 200 people who live in the Savannah Lakes Village community protested their local post office in February. They say the current delivery methods for the mail are unreasonable for the senior community and in many cases, unsafe. USPS hasn't budged on their demand that new homes built in the over 30-year-old Savannah Lakes Village get their mail through a post office box or cluster box units. Since the February 9th rally, the people who live in the senior community remain concerned that getting their mail may require a nearly 20-mile round trip. They say the proposed locations of cluster box units are dangerous, especially for those who are disabled.
They made a decision with no understanding of what the implications are to the community or any of the practical aspects of it. And that's the infuriating part. It's like if you had any idea what you were asking us to do, you wouldn't be asking us to do it.
With the USPS March 10th deadline steadily approaching, both Farnsworth and Cook tell me they will continue to work on a compromise that works for everyone involved. In McCormick, Tiffany Hobbs, WJBF, News Channel 6.
Today, South Carolina House Democrats are calling on the Senate to pass the Clementa C. Pinckney Hate Crimes Act. The bill would add penalty enhancements for violent crimes where the victim is targeted because of race, gender, sexual orientation, nationality, or religion. State Representative Wendell Gilliard is expected to speak at the South Carolina State House once the House adjourns for the day. South Carolina is one of 2 states in the country without a hate crime law.
A man in Aiken taken into custody accused of shooting his wife. He's 70-year-old Richard Whitaker, now charged with murder. His wife, 70-year-old Ruth Ann Whitaker, was found dead inside her home off Woodbine Road yesterday. The coroner says she had been shot. No word yet on a motive in the case. It is time now for a first check of our weather.
That's the case. So you got plans for tonight. Everything's fine. Just bring a jacket wherever you're going because it will be noticeably cooler. Clouds will start to increase as we go through the nighttime hours. Soggy and seasonable. That's what we're going to call it. Temperatures back down to normal, but rain chances are increasing. We'll talk more about that in detail with your forecast in just a few minutes. Jenny, Brent.
All right, Tim, thanks so much. Georgia lawmakers say affordable housing is a key area of concern. The Georgia Coalition for Housing Opportunity says 1.4 million Georgians are struggling to find affordable and reliable housing, and it's imperative to cut government red tape. Lawmakers say not fixing the problem will add to the state's growing homeless population.
If we cannot give them housing, where at least they have running water, a roof over their head, plumbing, showers, fundamentals, garbage cans, it is unacceptable to continue to allow people to just live under interstate bridges.
We have more people than housing right now in Georgia, so we've got to address housing.
According to the Georgia Chamber of Commerce, 67% of Georgia's CEOs reported that affordable housing was the top issue that affected the state's workforce, and for every 2 jobs created, 1 housing unit is needed. In Aiken County, a final decision on where students will go to school. Nikita Dennis has those details.
The Aiken County Board of Education made a final decision at Tuesday's special call meeting on rezoning students to the new Highland Springs Middle School. The board narrowed down 4 scenarios to populate students.
So we put together 6 different options for the district. About 2 months ago, 3 meetings ago, the board decided that scenarios 3 and 4 just didn't fit as to what the district was looking for. So scenarios 1, 2, 5, and 6 were brought forward in order to populate the new school.
Dr. Richards presented a demographic outline to the board as to how the school will be populated. After a thorough discussion amongst board members, they chose scenario 1.
I believe the board chose scenario 1 because it balanced the needs of both areas 2 and 3, and if the students were to leave their current home school, they got the advantage of going to the new school.
The board had some concerns about parents being inconvenienced when switching their kids to the new school and bus transportation.
It's not going to make a new area or anything like that. Those buses will still stay in the appropriate areas, kind of similar to how we run Aidenhouse and South Aiken.
Parents have had the opportunity to weigh in on the different options given.
Once we completed the community engagement, those questions then were shared as a survey on the district's website, so all of the parents in the community got an opportunity to weigh in.
To learn more about the zoning decision, just go to the Aiken County School District's website.
Tonight in Richmond County, students and parents have a chance to learn more about potential zoning changes as well. Board members are looking to close Willis Foreman and Terrence Manor Elementary schools because of low enrollment. Students in those schools will be sent to nearby schools. Tonight's public meeting about zoning options is at 6 o'clock at Willis Foreman Elementary.
Local disability care workers talk about the importance of National Disability Awareness Month. Lindale has been serving people in the CSRA for more than 70 years. Their aim is to make sure individuals with special needs get equal opportunity to live a life that involves work, education, and excitement. Several of the organization's programs allow for the people they serve to indulge in interactive activities of all kinds, including working with furniture.
We have a wonderful furniture department that we're known for throughout the CSRA, where they provide refurbished work for customers. We rely on the customer support to bring their furniture into our facility, and they take care of it and make it look like brand new again.
Lindale's goal is to make sure that whatever it is their clients want to do, they have the means to help them.
Coming up, Congress comes together to talk about the origins of COVID.
Next week, which we will talk more about that coming on up. This week happens to be Severe Weather Preparedness Week for South Carolina. And tonight, meteorologist Jenna Petracci, is going to be talking about tornadoes and how they form and what to do when they happen.
Within just the first month of 2023, we've already had several tornado warnings issued here in the CSRA. And as we go into the spring season, this will become more and more common. But how do tornadoes form? Well, it all begins with a thunderstorm where we have warm, moist air moving at the surface in one direction and cold, dry air aloft moving in the opposite direction. This will lead to wind shear, which then creates a rotating column of air within a cloud. This starts out as horizontal, but then all the rising air at the surface will eventually lift it up and tilt it vertical. Then we will begin to see a funnel extend from the cloud, and then when it continues to grab all that warm air, it will eventually expand and reach the surface as a tornado. Now, tornadoes can lift up a lot of debris, including mailboxes, which is just flying over my head. And of course, a dangerous and strong tornado can lift up cars and even tear apart homes. So if you're ever in a tornado warning, of course, you need to get to your safe place immediately. The best place to go would be a basement, but if you don't have that, you don't have to worry. You can go to the lowest level of your house, such as an interior room on the lowest level, somewhere away from windows like a bathroom or a closet, and be sure to stay in this safe place until that tornado warning ends.
Good advice there.
Yeah, really good.
Coming up, a star NFL player is making news today.
Yeah, quite a rescue he and others were responsible for. You're going to really want to watch this one when we come back.
At Kroger,
Welcome back, everybody. Quite a rescue this morning by Minnesota Vikings wide receiver KJ Osborne.
How the 25-year-old jumped into action to save the life of a man from a burning car. Will Reeve has the story.
It was the right place at the right time.
Minnesota Vikings receiver KJ Osborne hailed as a hero.
Touchdown, KJ Osborne!
Making the play of his life, saving a life on a Texas highway.
Look off to my right, and there's a car that has crashed and it's on fire. It's under a bridge, it hit a pillar, and the airbags were out.
Osborne was in an Uber when they came upon a fiery wreck under a bridge in Austin. The 25-year-old, who's played 3 NFL seasons, running out of the car with his driver, finding a man trapped inside his burning car.
The car could explode. It's a man's life in it.
I want to go up and help.
Osborne, the Uber driver, and 2 other Good Samaritans uniting to save the man, pulling him from the wreckage. The incinerated aftermath seen here in this photo.
We all ran down. I picked him up and was able to carry him 10, 15 yards away because, again, we didn't know if the car was going to blow up.
After emergency personnel arrived and brought the man to the hospital, Osborne had a moment to breathe and take this selfie with the 3 people he called heroes.
They have families, they have lives and careers as well. So, I just want to make sure, they know that they were heroes.
Osborne doesn't yet know the identity of the man he saved, but he's looking forward to reuniting.
I'm kind of actually excited to be able to find out who this guy was, just to be able to shake his hand, and God is real. And, I'm just happy, we were able to save this man's life.
How brave.
Yeah, I'm rooting for KJ now every game.
There is more coverage you can count on coming up next on News Channel 6 at 4:30.
Including how some lawmakers want the U.S. to crack down on Mexican drug cartels. Next.
Hyundai.
Well, thanks to bright sunshine, very low humidity, and a bit of a breeze, we have ourselves a fire danger tonight, but that ends by 7 o'clock because rain is headed our way for tomorrow. Details with your forecast straight ahead.
Right now on News Channel 6 at 6, lawmakers in South Carolina debating a new hate crimes bill. The latest on where things stand right now.
Plus, Georgia lawmakers are working on addressing the state's growing homeless population, what measure they're looking to pass.
And the clock is ticking on a deadline that could determine if one local community loses its mail service. Your News at 6 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 6.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Brad Bean.
And I'm Jenny Montgomery. Thanks so much for joining us.
Coverage you can count on continues in South Carolina, where a hate crimes bill could be one step closer to happening. Lawmakers talked about it this afternoon. Jason Raven is in Columbia.
The bill, also known as the Clemente C. Pinckney Act, would enhance penalties for violent crimes fueled by hate in South Carolina. A similar version of this legislation passed the House in 2021 with bipartisan support. The bill provides protections for race, color, religion, sex, gender, national origin, sexual orientation, or physical or mental disability. House Democrats say they worked closely with Republican leadership and are hopeful the bill will be signed into law later this session.
To encourage prospective companies to locate here, workers to live here, tourists to visit here, and families to thrive here, we must also be in the business of advocating for bills that work for our community, for the betterment of our state and our future.
Right now, South Carolina is one of 2 states without a hate crimes law on the books. The bill received second reading Wednesday in the House with an 84-31 vote, despite opposition from some Republican lawmakers concerned about unintended consequences.
It is not okay to hurt somebody because they're gay. It is not okay to hurt somebody because of their color of their skin. But what I ask for, and what I've supported in the past and will continue to support, is that we protect everyone equally.
The bill's sponsor, Representative Wendell Gilliard of Charleston County, says this vote shows South Carolina's stance against hate. Gilliard also said they are urging senators to take this bill up on the floor and to pass it this year. The House's hate crimes bill stalled last session when debate was blocked by some Republican senators.
This bill will tell the state and the world we are one in South Carolina. We stand for progress. We stand for unity.
The bill will get third reading Thursday and then be sent to the state Senate. In Columbia, I'm Jason Raven.
The bill would add up to 5 years of prison time to somebody's sentence if they were convicted of a violent crime fueled by hate.
The State Department of Health has officially awarded the Richmond County Ambulance Zone to Central EMS of Roswell, Georgia. Central beat out 2 other companies, including Augusta's Gold Cross EMS. Commissioners will hold a work session tomorrow to talk about the new service and how to move forward. Central has not officially quoted the city how much it wants in a subsidy, but the company has told city leaders it needs to make a 10% profit.
Georgia lawmakers say affordable housing is a
Awareness Month.
And we're going to take a look at how local agencies are making sure their clients can serve this community when we come back.
Tonight on News Nation, review the top bird.
March is National Disability Awareness Month.
Bria Smith spoke with people from local agencies who work to enrich the lives of people with disabilities.
Lindell helps people within our community see how those they serve are just individuals with different abilities and not disabilities. Staff at Lindell work every day with people who have special needs, but at their core are just like the rest of us. They work, go to school, and go home. But sometimes these individuals may not get the same opportunities, which is why Lindell is happy this special month can help bring more attention to what they do.
We know that unemployment hits them the hardest. We know that opportunities that are available seems to be few and far in between at times. So anytime that we can shine the spotlight on them and talk about their capabilities, it educates the community.
Lindell workers say the individuals they serve are capable of anything, and those workers say they do what they do because they love to. In Augusta, Bria Smith, WJBF, News Channel 6.
And Tim, let's step back over to the desk.
On a cool evening.
Cool evening, very much so. We have about like 12 more days of winter left, and it's going to hang on here because next week it's going to get colder with the opportunity maybe of a freeze or a frost. All right, so don't want you to freak out about that quite yet. But we'll talk more about that in detail with your forecast straight ahead. Really, Sunday, the next week, that's what we'll have to watch. Another shot of colder air. Notice temperatures in the 30s, and we'll talk more about that coming on up. Umbrella winner tonight, Carolyn Rollins of Fairfax. Congratulations. Got yourself a beautiful umbrella. Register to win yours at WJBF.com.
All right, thank you, Tim. Up next, it is our Scholar Athlete of the Week, as well as a local basketball team heading to Macon in search of a state championship.
Kira Goldstein is up next with sports.
I was like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened.
WJBF News Channel 6. Now, WJBF sports coverage you can count on.
It's been another exciting week for sports, and one local basketball team is looking for a state title. The West Side boys basketball team are looking to become back-to-back state champions. After last Saturday's narrow victory over Columbia, the Patriots will be playing in the state championship game tomorrow. The team practiced today at Augusta University, and head coach Jerry Hunter said he's confident his team knows the importance of working together.
I feel like we're preparing in the areas that we need to prepare, but of course, when the game gets started, it's all about making adjustments then. We're going to have to become better at screening. We're going to definitely have to talk on defense, and then the most important thing, we got to play as a unit. They have grown over these past few games and understand the importance of not necessarily having a team with the best players, but being the players on the best team.
The West Side boys basketball team will head to Macon tomorrow, where they will tip off against Providence Christian Academy at 3 p.m. for a chance to bring home a state title. And finally, we have this week's Scholar Athlete, Ricardo Jones. Ricardo is a three-sport athlete from Silver Bluff High School, but he also has a 4.82 GPA. He's in the National Beta Club, the National Honor Society, and on the honor roll. His parents and coaches said they're so happy to see him get this award because nobody works harder than Ricardo.
I had a vision when I was younger, know what I want to do in my life. So I applied myself. I can't do nothing without my grades.
It's exciting because you see him work hard, you see him study, you see the sad times when things don't go necessarily the way he wants them to go. So to see awards and accolades, it's just amazing.
I always told him when he was younger, starting out, you got to earn your position. Nothing going to be given to you. And he took that in and he just run with it.
The football and the sports aspect of everything is just icing on the cake, and I've just been very fortunate as a coach to be able to coach somebody like Ricardo. Very well spoken. It's no surprise that he's very intelligent, raised the correct way, carries himself the correct way, and that's all before he even gets onto a field.
Big congratulations to Ricardo and the entire Jones family. We'll be right back.
If you think you're at
reclining furniture in stock and ready to go. The Motion Madness sale going on now at Quick Deals on Furniture.
If you think your accident happened fast, wait.
No one moves faster or works harder to get you the most money possible.
Get the strong arm.
Rain showers move in tomorrow, 67. A better chance of rain for Friday. We'll take a break for Saturday, and then unfortunately some more rain on Sunday with more seasonable March-like temperatures rather than our 80s.
And that is our report for now. News Channel 6 is back at 7 right after World News Tonight.
And then we'll see you again for News Channel 6 at 11. Have a great evening, everyone.